Hey, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here, you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. It helps us feed hungry hippos, and it also helps us buy laundry detergent. Today, we are talking about laundry soaps that you can use for your thrifted items that you intend to resell. If you watched yesterday's video, you already know where I stand on washing everything you thrift and bring into your home. In fact, where I stand on any piece of clothing that comes into your home. If you didn't watch it, it'll pop up at the end and you can go back and watch that. But today's video, we're going to assume that you listened to my advice and you're going to wash and dry all of your clothing that you thrift. You can wash Plush. Do not put them in the dryer. It will ruin them. Anything new with tags and dry cleaning I touched upon in yesterday's video, you can steam clean. So today we're just talking about the items that can go in the washing machine and then whether you dry them or not. I do have a lot of friends who wash all of their used clothing, and they actually have clothing lines outside where they hang up clothes out to dry, just like all of our grandmothers did back in the day. And they say it helps them to smell more fresh and like give it a cleaner scent, which it probably does because outside in the fresh air, everything smells better. We just use our dryer. We're not fancy. We don't hang stuff up. So if you're looking for a laundry soap that touts that it kills bed bugs, I'm going to show you the one that we use. However, if you do any research online, most experts will literally tell you what kills the bed bugs is heat, the agitation of the water, and any good old laundry soap. So just by putting the clothes in a washing machine and that water agitating, you could have a generic Dollar Tree brand soap in there agitating around, and it will kill dust mites, bed bugs, any other germs. It'll sanitize, it'll clean everything. I just like to use this one because it is like kind of mentioned a lot when you do your research. It also is very inexpensive. You can get it in great big containers, and it lasts a very long time. I do recommend getting separate soap for yourself, your personal use in your family, and for your store. Even if you're going to use the same exact soap for both, for tax purpose reasons, you want separate containers. The soap you purchase for your business is going to be a write-off, and so you want to only use it for your business. Just like anything else that you're going to write off, it can't be for personal use. So you want to keep the two separate. And then anything you buy for your personal use that you're supposed to be doing your family laundry with, you don't want to use for your business unless it's like an emergency and you've run out of your business soap and you're only going to use one cupful, but you can't really write it off because you bought that for yourself. So now you're losing out on a write-off, right? So if you have that separate container, that's your write-off. You're not using it for anything but your store, which is what you're supposed to do properly. And you can have two separate types if you so choose. So I'm going to show you my soap that we use. And then we're just going to talk a little bit about scent and stuff like that. And that's another reason why you may want to have two separate soaps. So we use Persil. They have packs if you want packs. They have the old-fashioned liquid soap. And they have Free and Sensitive, which has no scent. It's hypoallergenic, which is what I highly recommend. And any brand. But they also have like 4-in-1 Purex. I mean, really any soap's going to work. What I want to talk about today is the Free and Sensitive hypoallergenic unscented soaps for sensitive skin. This is what I highly recommend you get for your business to use for any clothing you're going to wash and send to a buyer. It doesn't have to be Persil. It can be Tide, it can be Walmart brand, it can be Gain. I believe every single laundry detergent out there, every brand offers a scent-free and hypoallergenic version of their soap. It is not necessarily our responsibilities to be in charge of everybody's allergies and everybody's skin sensitivities, but I think it's a respectful thing to do. So I'm not in charge of everyone's allergies, their skin sensitivities, and if they have a serious issue, they're responsible for that when they're shopping. They should make sure they're asking questions if they need to ahead of purchase. Does this have a scent? Was it washed in soap with a scent? Did you use dryer sheets? Did you use scent beads? Everyone is in charge of their own selves and what they're sensitive to. Absolutely. I do agree with that. But I also agree that as a business, I am supplying a service, an item to my buyers, and I want to present them in a very professional way, and I want to provide the best customer service I can. So in order to do that, if I use all soaps that have no scents, then I don't use scent beads and I don't use dryer sheets. I just clean the items, get them nice and fresh and clean with no extra scents added. Then I'm presenting clean, fresh items that aren't going to be offensive to anybody's allergies, olfactory sensibilities, skin rashes, epidermis, dermatitis, whatever they have. Everyone can purchase from my store and receive something that's clean, that's not going to be offensive or bother anyone's allergies or sensitivities. I like to look at this from a business point of view. There are some sellers out there who would disagree with me, and that's okay. I agree that we're not in charge of anybody else's issues. If I had allergies, it would absolutely be my responsibility as an adult to make sure. Let's say if I was allergic to peanuts, I have to make sure that everywhere I eat, everything I order off of a menu, everything I purchase from a store is peanut free. That's my responsibility. But if I were a restaurant and that's like the most common allergy, maybe I would want to stay away from peanuts. So that's where I'm coming from as far as the laundry soap. I do get questions and messages from buyers all the time asking me questions. And I appreciate that. Because if I was someone who, say, used Gain, which, oh my gosh, Gain smells amazing, and we use it for our personal laundry, I absolutely love the way Gain, it's like the best smelling soap out there. You could just sniff it. Like in all the commercials when they take their laundry out and they're like, oh, I enjoy that smell so much. But I'm not going to use it for my business. And I get buyers asking me questions all the time. Because if I was a seller that used something, I appreciate the ability to say, yeah, we use scents and they don't buy from me and then I don't have an issue. I don't have a return. I don't have negative feedback. I don't have problems down the road in the future. And that's the other side of the coin. When you're using scent-free and hypoallergenic soaps, you're avoiding negative feedback. You're avoiding problems and returns in the future. Yes, it is their responsibility. But let me tell you this. I get so many customers, buyers, who leave feedback that a stuffed animal they purchased was smaller than they had hoped for or was smaller than they had expected. I get messages from people who are disappointed in the size of their stuffed animal. We put the inches in the title, the description, the item specifics, and I also show a picture of each stuffed animal next to a ruler. If buyers can't be responsible enough or have the wherewithal or the awareness to notice the size of an animal that's in like 10 different places for them to see, do you really think they're taking the time to ask you, do you use Tide? Do you use Downy? Do you use anything with scent or smell? No, they're not. They can't. They send me messages asking me for measurements that are right there in the description. Buyers don't pay attention. Generally, they just look at the first photo of something, they like it, they buy it, boom. So we can do everything in our power to offset further issues, further problems, messages, returns, feedback, blah, blah. Just, you know what? I try to just offset it. I just go in to every listing, assuming buyers aren't going to pay attention, and put information in as many places as I can. And then on the back end, I make sure everything is clean and washed and give really good detailed photos. And then I don't use anything with scents that's going to offend anybody. So that's my 2 cents. I do want to actually bring up a friend and tell you a little story time real quick before I let y'all go. Hi, Esmeralda. You guys may remember my friend Esmeralda. She works in emergency disaster. And I had her on the channel way back when, at the beginning of COVID. She's someone that's very sensitive to smells, and she received a package a couple of months ago, I think is when we talked about this. And I told her I was going to make a video, and it's taken this long to do it. You guys, if you could see my list of videos I want to make, I'll get around to all of these ideas eventually, right? But I did write it down that day, and so now I'm getting around to it. So hi, Esmeralda. And I told her I would credit her and tell her story so you guys can get a little bit better of an understanding. She is a responsible adult. She pays attention. She does her research. She looks at everything before she makes a purchase. And she's a very intelligent person. She's one of the smartest people I know. And she asks questions ahead of time. But not all buyers are created equal either, right? Not all sellers are created equal. Not everybody is as diligent or does things the way that I would do them. So in spite of all of these things, she received a package, and she said she could smell like coming out of the poly bag before she even opened it. Just like, I guess, flowers, if I remember correctly. But it was like somebody had just dumped in every box of scent beads and used every scented laundry soap and then rolled the stuff around in dryer sheets before they mailed it to her. And it set off an allergy attack. And so she had to send it back. She couldn't open it or wear it. And she does her due diligence before she buys. So if you're a seller and you get a question from a buyer who has the wherewithal to ask before buying, answer them. Don't just blow it off and ignore them. Whether you use scented stuff or not, answer them and be honest. If you use scented items, tell the buyer you use scented items because you don't want a return on your hands. You don't want negative feedback. And you should never be ignoring buyers. I just did a video earlier in the week on answering messages and being prompt in dealing with customers and having good customer service. You should always be answering every message. In fact, I mentioned in that video, even on the evenings and weekends, I have a cookie cutter message on my phone I can copy and paste. It takes me 30 seconds. That really just says, hey, thanks for your interest. It's the weekend. I'll get back to you Monday morning. Always answer your buyers. Because then, you're going to have returns and stuff on your hands. It's just a simple thing that you can do as a business owner. Just being mindful and just using a soap that doesn't have any scent to it and washing all your items in that, rather than having to tell someone, well, I actually use Gain, and then not having a sell. So Persil's what we use. I like that. But according to the research, if you really just want to get rid of the possibility of bed bugs, or if you want to clean things, get them clean, get rid of germs and possible bodily fluids and all of that gross stuff we talked about in yesterday's video, the agitation of the water and the soap in the washing machine is enough. Probably want to use warm water unless you're washing items that really need cold water or the gentle cycle. But just the agitation and the soap will clean the items. So if you're on a tight budget for your business, you can get generic soap and you'll be fine. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. Esmeralda, if you're watching this, which you probably are, and I told the story incorrectly or missed any details, you can fill the folks in your comments. She's also a moderator in my group. You guys probably do know who she is. She's a moderator in my Facebook group, which you should also be a part of, Flippin Hippos Facebook group. But it was a couple of months ago when we had this discussion. So if you feel like I missed any important details, comments. Hey guys, go buy some scent-free soap for your store and continue to use 50 million scent beads for your own stuff if you like. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.